Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gav Major and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly is the weekly news video covering news of World of Warships Legends in the week past, week coming up, along with channel news and speculations. Well, first of all, I guess we better start with the changes to the Stellar Clash mode. There's been some general buffs to the player choice of ships as well as the matchmaking. So first of all, just starting off with the Galaxy. She's had an increase to her accuracy by 15%. AP shells ricochet angles has been increased from 60 to 75 degrees. Guaranteed ricochet angles have been improved from 75 degrees to 80 degrees. Penetration of AP shells has been increased by 9%. And in individual parts of the ship now have less HP, so the damage soak is a bit slower. The idea of this is it just improves her AP capability as well as her ability to absorb the damage. Regarding the rover, it's a bit more of a nerf regarding the rover. Her engines and steering gears have been made more vulnerable to being incapacitated, therefore making it easier to be pinned and stopped, making it harder for her to escape from high explosive shelling. And then the battleship, the All Destroyer. The AP shells ricochet check angles has been increased from 45 degrees to 60 degrees, and the guaranteed ricochet angle has been changed from 60 degrees to 75 degrees. But again, just making the AP a bit more reliable. Regarding the matchmaking, basically you'll be forced into a game after 2 minutes of searching if there are 3 or more players. And furthermore, the bots will fill in the rest of the players if there are less than 9 human players. So basically it looks like matchmaking has already started to suffer, in all honesty, if they're having to make those kind of introductions. Now, there has been a community manager stream which was on the 26th, and as always, I know that not everyone wants to watch all the way through and will dissect all the information and everything there, so just a couple of things to mention. It looks like the Vanguard is going to be receiving the concealment module in the next patch, available in that third slot. That will be going alongside the target acquisition mod, so you'll actually have a choice. And Vanguard is not going to be the only battleship. She's the only one confirmed, but she's not going to be the only one. So there are going to be some additional battleships receiving an option to the target acquisition mod. Now, obviously, we had the confirmation. We already kind of had the confirmation anyway, but this says there's going to be some secondary changes on the German battleships next patch. Basically, the changes are to the 105mm secondary batteries on the German battleships. Basically, they're having their penetration values increased to 1/5 pen, which means that they will be able to penetrate 20mm of armor, which should improve their capability to combat destroyers and also be able to penetrate the superstructures of, say, cruisers and battleships. Now, obviously, we've had the reoccurring question whether there be plans to give the Conqueror the alternative guns, which we see on the Thunderer. It's basically been confirmed that that's not going to happen. If they are going to introduce anything like that, they're obviously going to introduce the Thunderer instead. Now, it's been confirmed that there will be 2 new maps in the upcoming update, one for low tier battles and one for high tier battles. So look forward to seeing those, I have to confess. Let's hope they don't stick them on peak rotation for too long, because obviously I don't want to be getting bored out of my mind of them like we've had with the 3 recent maps added to the game. Now, looks like there could be a potential Japanese battleship buff in the future, and this is potentially confirmed as well by a Facebook comment, but we'll cover that when we get there. Also, he's confirmed that the next community manager livestream will be happening on April the 16th, which is basically into the next patch, and the next patch will be quite a big one. The reason being, it is going to be the launch birthday of World of Warships Legends. In fact, it's going to be its 2nd birthday, which means I've probably been playing this game for nearly 2 years then when that all kicks off, which is going to be quite interesting. Now, jumping back to like a Facebook comment I was discussing, basically it's a response from the Sailing Robin, and it looks like there's a potential that Nagato, the Ingenious Bagato, and the Ragnarok, and a few other ships will be getting changes in the future updates. Now, all of those ships are basically Nagatos, so potentially it could be there's going to be some changes to the Nagatos, but furthermore those are all battleships as well, and whether there's potential change to them is actually the concealment module. So it could be two ways there. We know there's a potential Japanese buff in the future. All these ships are Japanese, but we also know the concealment module is coming. And is that potential buff to Japanese battleships actually the concealment module? So it's all a bit up in the air. It's whether these Venn diagrams all kind of match up, I guess you could say. Now, thanks to the Discord, it's been brought to my attention. This is the Reddit posting on Discord. It's been brought to my attention that the Japanese Tier 3 premium cruiser Iwaki can equip AA Guns Module 2. So it's quite interesting to see that actually there is an AA gun module in the game, and this will increase the AA gun's firing range by 20%, which is quite interesting. So it's interesting to see that's what the potential AA mod might be in future on some cruisers, or most cruisers potentially. So it's interesting to see that, and it looks like it was a... Well, I guess the IWAC is a premium, so how much that's going to relate over to Tech Tree ships is not easy to confirm, I guess you could say. Now available in the PSN store and the Xbox store, I guess you could say, or Xbox Marketplace, whatever you guys call it, there is a credits cache which is now available. This is available for free to players who have PS Plus or Xbox Live Gold subscription, and basically it will contain 5 days premium, 1 million credits, 25 rare credit boosters, 25 rare battle boosters, and 37,000 commander XP. So it's available for free if you already have those console subscriptions, PS Plus and Xbox Live Gold. Now, we know that as we're entering into the last week of the patch, we can pretty much expect the Italian Tier 5 cruiser, the Duca D'Asta. I do apologise if I pronounced that wrong. I would anticipate her to be 10,000 doubloons as per most all the tier 5s at least so far released into the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how she comes in. She is basically another member of the family of cruisers, those light fast cruisers like the Montecuculi and the Giussano and the other premium Italian cruiser. So it's going to be interesting to see those introductions, and yeah, I'll look forward to testing it, I guess you could say. Now obviously we did have the Codebreaker mission, which was on social media. Obviously I think the code's been pretty much splattered absolutely everywhere, but if you have completely missed it, it will be down in the description with a link to the redeemer if you so wish, just in case you have missed it. But yeah, the code's Tide Turner. You can see it down there if you want to. Well, that covers off everything in the game. Obviously we are entering into the last week, so next week we can expect the patch notes, which will be quite interesting. So obviously we'll be doing a patch note live stream and things like that next week. As for the rest of this week, usual live stream on Friday, and the aim is to get a review out on the campaign ship this Friday morning. So fingers crossed for that. Regarding the channel, nothing more to add. Slowly plodding along and keeping up to date. And I think that's everything I have to report, and that's pretty much everything. So if you have enjoyed it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe, although most of you guys already are subscribers, so let's say thank you very much. As always, you can support the channel on Patreon, links down in the description, and also send in your own personal game captures for the community spotlight video on the Monday, email address down in the description. Until next time, I'm the Gallop Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping Major. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down. I guess this is the life. Now, hey, hey, clear the way, here comes the Galloping